setup for May favorites. When I normally think about monthly favorites videos, I think new. What new products am I excited about and want to talk about? When I really took time to think back over the last month, a lot of things that stood out to me I've already mentioned before. And I know that when I watch YouTube myself, sometimes I'll think, I wonder if she still likes that product she mentioned a couple months ago. Does she still use it? So that's what I have for you today. I have 5 products that I've already talked about before, but I either repurchased over the last month or I still use all the time and I still love and want to recommend to you. And then I have 5 brand new products that I haven't talked about before that are really exciting. So I have a really good lineup, a lot of things to get through. I'm going to go ahead and start with the returning favorites. This might be the first ever all-natural product I tried. It's the Elizabeth Dean for One Love Organics Vitamin B Enzyme Cleansing Oil and Makeup Remover. I ran out of this towards I think the beginning of the month, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try some other things, try some samples, other products. No, nothing compares to this. So I very quickly placed another order. So I have a brand new bottle. I like this for 2 main reasons. It has a fruit enzyme in it that every time I use it, it very gently exfoliates my skin and leaves my skin feeling really soft. And then nothing that I've tried in the natural community, nothing that I've tried at Sephora compares to this when it comes to taking off makeup. No matter what kind of liner, mascara situation I have going on, nothing stands a chance against this. It just effortlessly removes makeup. So this is a huge favorite, a huge recommendation. I think if I was gonna do a top 10 natural favorites videos, that would definitely be in it, and it might be number 1. I don't know that if before this I had ever repurchased an eye cream. It takes so long to get through them that by the time I'm done, I'm bored and I wanna try something different, or I didn't see much of an impact. But I have repurchased an eye cream, so this is kind of a big deal. This is the Kiehls Clearly Corrective Dark Circle Perfector. This is fantastic, and I had to go back through my receipts. I bought this in June of last year, so I thought it was really expensive at the time, but it lasted me almost for an entire year, so I think it is well worth it. It's SPF 30, and it's so great because my under eye area is my problem area, so to have extra sun protection, and it doesn't irritate my eyes, so I love that. And it also has a tint to it, so let me get my new bottle and I'll show you the tint really quick. Here's what the tint looks like, and it's not a lot of coverage. If I'm doing a full face of makeup, I definitely still need a concealer, but if I'm doing like a light makeup day or a no makeup day, this adds just a little bit of brightness, and if you have really bad dark circles, every little bit helps. I have a hair product, and I actually think this was in last month's favorites video. It is the Caviar Miracle Multiplying Volume Mist from Alterna. I was running low, and I didn't even let myself finish this bottle before running out and getting a backup. I love this. I don't know if you guys think that this is much volume. If you could see my hair with absolutely nothing in it, it's like plastered to the side of my head. So for me, this is a ton of volume, and this is the only styling product I have in my hair right now, and then I use hairspray to hold it all together, but it's so good and it feels really lightweight. I'm so excited because a lot of you guys commented that you went out and purchased this too, and it's working for you, which is awesome. It makes me really happy. My 4th returning favorite is the Benefit Roller Lash, and I looked this up to see when I first started talking about it, and it was in March of 2015. Since then, I've gone through a couple full-size tubes and a couple minis. This I got in January. It's the Ulta birthday gift this year. And I know it's hard to recommend mascaras because everybody has such different experiences and preferences, but for me, this gives me a lot of lift, a lot of length, and usually when people compliment my lashes, this is the mascara I'm wearing. So I went out and repurchased a full size. 2016 has been the year of foundations for me. I have purchased so many bottles. I've gotten so many samples of ones I'm interested in, of ones you guys wanted to see reviews of. But recently I pulled out my bottle of the Gressa Minimalist Corrective Serum Foundation, and I was reminded how good this is. Nothing that I've tried compares to this in how well it combats redness while feeling like nothing on the skin. It just blends in so seamlessly. It's just effortless, and it feels like nothing, which is awesome. This does cling to dry patches, which is the one major drawback. So if you have very dry skin, that could be an area for concern. But I just love this. And I do have a foundation routine, which I can link down below if you want to watch it and see. I don't have this on today. I'm actually testing out a BB cream, a new BB cream. Feeling a little bit glowy, too glowy. I'm not sure. I'll have to see when I edit this. But talking about foundation, since I've tried so many, I want to do like a foundation themed week where I do 3 videos, and one video would be a foundation collection so you could see everything that I own and like tiny little mini reviews. And then I also want to do a complete video comparing the Gressa and the Sappho, because I feel like I get that question 2 or 3 times a week. Which do I like better? How do they compare or differ? So I want to go in depth, and so I could just have a video where I could direct people to. And the 3rd video I thought you guys could vote on. It could be first impressions of a popular foundation I haven't tried yet. It could be a drugstore foundation routine. So I'm kind of open to suggestions. So if you'd like that, a foundation theme week, let me know in the comments below. Moving into new products I haven't talked about before, let me introduce you to my new favorite miracle mask. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. This is the second favorites video in a row where I have a skincare recommendation from my friend Sarah Nicole. She's the one who told me to check out the Drunk Elephant Vitamin C Serum from last month, and this month she told me I had to try this. It is incredible, but let me put a disclaimer out there before I get into it. This most definitely stings for the first full minute that it's on my face. You're supposed to leave it on for 3 to 7 minutes, and I usually do it for the full 7 minutes, but that first minute, it stings a little bit. So it has 3 things working for it. The first is the pumpkin enzyme from the name. That is supposed to help exfoliate. And it also has alpha hydroxy acid, AHA, which I've mentioned before, is really good at resurfacing that top layer of skin. And then it also polishes with aluminum dioxide. So you need just a tiny amount because you're supposed to do a really thin layer, but the results are incredible. You're only supposed to use it 2 times a week, but it's one of those things where I want to use it more because my skin looks so good. So if you want something this is not like a super moisturizing mask, which is what I usually go for. This is very much exfoliating, but if your skin is looking dull and you want some radiant skin for summer, check this out. If you watched my 2016 goals video, you might remember in the beauty section I mentioned wanting to try an eyelash serum, and one of the brands I was interested in was more natural with plant-derived ingredients, and it is called Plume. So about 2 months ago I had to go back and look through my emails. They sent me a tube of their eyelash and brow serum, and I've been using it faithfully every night, but I wanted to wait a while. First, to make sure I saw results, and second, if something's sent to me, especially if it's more on the expensive side, I want to use it for a while to make sure that I would purchase it with my own money before recommending it to you. I really like this, and I like this so much that not only am I going to get another tube for myself, I also want to get one for my mom because I think she'd like this too. So like I said, I've been using it on my lashes and brows. It kind of looks like a liquid liner, and I use it like that. So at night, this is pretty much the last step I do before I go to bed. I draw it on like a liquid liner, and then I put all the excess through my brows. I do think my lashes look nice and conditioned. I think their tagline is like green juice for your eyes. Where I've really noticed a difference is with my brows. If you have been with me for a long time, you might remember this really traumatizing trip to the lady who threads my brows. I don't know. She had done my brows for so long, like years, and never had a bad experience. And then one day she left them so thin. It was one of those things where you get in the car and you almost feel like crying. Very dramatic about your brows. But for so long, I've been really having to spend a lot of time filling them in to get them to look like how they looked before, and nothing was happening. No matter how much time went by, the little hairs just weren't growing back. But since I've been using this, I've seen a lot of regrowth, especially up here, which is where she really kind of trimmed them down a lot. And even the other day, my mom said my brows were looking a little bit bushy, which I took as a compliment. I was really excited about it. So I went and got my brows threaded for the first time in over a year, I think. I went to a new place, I read a lot of reviews, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I've been really happy with this product. I wrote down a couple of the ingredients. It has organic aloe vera, organic castor oil, vitamin E, honey extract. So a lot of really good, nourishing ingredients, and I'll put a link to their website so you can see every single ingredient. But so far, I'm really happy with this, and I think they said a tube should last about 2 months, which I'm kind of coming up to that milestone. So as soon as I'm done with this, I plan on purchasing another tube, and then hopefully I can do like some close-ups maybe after I've used this for like the 4 months and see kind of some final feelings about it. Right at the beginning of the month, I found my new favorite everyday work lipstick. It's from Marc Jacobs, and it's number 246 Slow Burn. I have this on right now. I will add a little bit more. It's like a mid-tone dusty rose. This formula is so creamy, and it's just one of those perfect colors that whether I'm doing like a really heavy eye makeup or barely anything, like today I only have 2 shadows on my lid. This just goes with pretty much everything, and I think if you're looking for a work appropriate color, this is gorgeous. It also pairs really nicely with the Jane Iredale Spice liner, so I love that. And then something I wanted to mention specifically this month, because it's limited edition and I'm not sure how long it's going to be around, I did an all-time favorite brush video the past month, and if you watched that, you probably know that I really like Real Techniques brushes. This is a limited edition cheek and lip set that I found at Ulta. This is so nice. This brush could be used for blush if you want a little bit more impact. It's also really nice to apply bronzer. That's what I did today. And then this brush is probably my favorite. It's a little duo fiber brush. I purchased the Becca Jaclyn Hill face palette when they did that launch on the launch day. Like you could buy it from the Sephora app. The blushes in there are beautiful, but they are a lot, especially on my fair skin. I had a couple days this month where I definitely overdid it. So this brush is so much looser than my normal blush brush that it picks up a lot less product and it really just diffuses it over the cheek. It also, I think you're technically supposed to use this for contouring. I haven't tried that yet, but I'll definitely do that. But for me, it's been really good with really pigmented blushes. And it also came with this little lip brush, which I've only used a couple times, but I do think is really nice, especially to, you know, just have around. So if you want some really nice affordable brushes, because you can use the Ulta coupon, that's what I did, the is it $3.50 off $10 or whatever. You can use that on this brush set, and I think that these are all 3 nice brushes to have in your collection. And last but not least, I have the nail polish that I'm currently wearing. I have been on the hunt for the perfect coral, and I had this specific shade in my mind. Everything I found was either too red or too orange, and I wanted to wait until I found this perfect shade. And one day browsing through Sephora, I saw a display from Nails Inc. These are the gel effect, but they're the coconut water ones. And this color in particular is called Charlotte Villas. This is exactly what was in my mind. I wanted something really bright with a lot of orange to it, but not too much orange, and this is just perfect. It lasts pretty good. It lasts for like 4 days perfectly, and then on the 5th day, they all chip at the same time, but I still think 4 days is pretty good, and I do think this color is like perfect for summer. That is all for me today, but I'd love to know your thoughts on seeing the returning favorites, if you liked that, and if there was anything in May that stood out to you that you could recommend to me, leave it in a comment down below because I love to read those. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in a new video very soon.